Welcome back. It's Kinndli here with another lab where I like to break down parts of the practice to help you get more knowledge and just to empower you in all the little bits of the practice. So today I want to look at your knees, and specifically in the balancing series, anytime we're weight bearing in our feet, when we're standing on one foot, what are our knees doing? Okay? I'll show you first what we don't want to have. So from the side, if you can see, this is what we don't want: locked knees. My knees actually kind of hyper flex a little bit back. When my knees are locked, meaning I'm dumping into the joint of my knees, my leg muscles are not activated. I don't know if you can see that, my quadriceps movable, right? If I bend my knees a little bit, my quadricep hardens up. Why is that important? Because these are our stabilizing muscles. Our calf, my calf hardened up, and my quad and all the muscles around the knee hardened up. These are going to stabilize us when we want to balance. If we've locked our knees out like that, it's kind of like how some of us stand, hang out, stand like that. There's no activation around the joint, and the joint is going to hyperflex or all that stuff that's not good for the joint, overstretch the ligaments and all that. We want to stay with a micro bend in the knees to make the leg muscles work. We want the stabilizing muscles to work. So this shows up in poses like tree pose. So you open up one leg, bring it up. See, this knee is a little bent. If it was locked, it would look like that. I actually feel discomfort in this knee as I lock it out. We don't want that. So a little bend. We also don't want to ever put a foot on the knee joint or weight on the joint, especially if it's not engaged. So you can put your foot below or above the joint, but make sure the knee is slightly bent. Now this shows up in all the poses. So say we're doing triangle pose, we don't want the knees locked like that. See how my leg muscles can be all asleep? You want them, your knees, micro bent. You might not even be able to see it so much with your eyes, but you'll feel it. Because as soon as I bend my knees micro, tiny little bit, my legs activate. So in a pose like triangle pose, I'm not dumped out in my legs. There's a little bend, and my legs are working and participating and stabilizing the joints. Okay, so that shows up in all of our poses. This back leg is not locked. This is like a warrior two. The back knee is slightly micro bent so that all the muscles are stabilizing the knee joint. What else? Oh, it shows up in dancer's pose. We see it in dancer's pose all the time. So say I've scooped up, I'll do this foot, scooped up my foot with my hand, and then I've locked out that knee. We don't want this, especially in the balancing poses. When you lock out a joint, see that my balance went off right away as soon as I locked it. It gives you less mobility and agility. With a little bend, I'm able to find my center and then go into the pose. See, the little bend in the knee gives me the access to the stabilizing joints, the stabilizing muscles around my joint. Okay, so what I want you to get from this video is, in all of the poses, whether both feet are on the ground, a little bend in the knee. Little bend in the knee, not locked straight. Little bend in the knee. In the balancing poses, it's really going to show up, right? Say you've caught your toe, extending your leg out. This leg is not locked. It's a slight bend, right? Or say, what's another one? Half moon pose. Half moon pose, right? This knee is a little bent. And the wobbling is okay. Those are the muscles strengthening around the joint. We don't want to lock out the knee like that. Every time I show you what not to do, it actually doesn't feel good. So hopefully your body will start to feel that too. Not good, good. Just a little bend, okay? And I just want you to also remember that everyone's joint mobility is a little bit different. So you may be someone that's really comfortable in that overextension of a joint. So for you, a micro bend might look like the leg is still really extended back a little bit, and that's totally fine. It's not really about what the eye is going to see. It's about what you feel in your body. And your micro joint will look, your micro bend in the joint will look different from your neighbor's. So it's, if you just stand up and do this test, you say shake out your knees and then lock them back. You can really see it on mine from the side. If I just soften and then lock them out, that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be in my standing poses. I want a little bend, and that gives me the strength and the stability that I need for my knees to be strong, my ankles to be strong and supported. Okay, hope that helped. Enjoy the labs. I'll see you on the next one.